Annabel's home, so they mostly played at Lettie's home. When they were in Form 2, all the children from the surrounding farm schools came to the town school and lived in the hostel. That was how Lettie got to know Clara and Christine. Christine's father was an important man. He was the member of the provincial council for the constituency, but Christine wasn't important. She was just their friend. Lettie took an immediate liking to Clara and Christine. She would have loved to be Clara's best friend, but Clara and Christine were already best friends. Lettie didn't have a best friend. She and Annabel would never be best friends. Lettie had always been her daddy's dearest little sweetheart and her mummy's pretty little darling. Lettie's mum and dad were both short and stout and friendly. Lettie took after both her parents. She had always been a happy child. But halfway through Form 2, she began to take notice of her friend's looks. Clara was continually tucking behind her ears the unruly chestnut curls that kept escaping their plaits. She had rosy cheeks and lovely green eyes. She was athletic and had a beautiful singing voice. There wasn't an ounce of fat on her body. Christine was small, with blonde curls and blue eyes. She always looked slightly startled, not afraid, but uncertain, rather, and she battled a little with her schoolwork. Clara often helped her. Christine was as pretty as a china doll. Annabel was tall and slim, with shapely legs and golden skin. She was very good at sports, and she was clever. She usually wore her long dark hair in a plait, but whenever possible she would allow her shiny, silky tresses to cascade down her back. Her eyes were dark, and she plucked her brows in neat arches, just like the movie stars. Her lips were full and her teeth pearly white. Annabel was a stunning beauty, Lettie realized. All the boys liked Annabel. Clara's brother, David, was 1 year ahead of them at school. All the boys were in love with Annabel, and all the girls were in love with David, even the matric girls, despite the fact that he was their junior. David was good at everything. He was a superb athlete and played in the first rugby team, even though he was only in Form 3. He was at the top of his class every year, and he sang the male lead in the operetta. What was more, he was friendly to everyone, including Lettie. He even remembered her name. But it was that sharp pang in the region of her heart that had brought her face to face with herself and her mum's full-length mirror. She was short and plump. "It's just puppy fat, you'll outgrow it," her dad always reassured her. But she was nearly 15. She leaned closer to the mirror and took a critical look at her face. Her skin didn't look like Clara's or Annabel's. "Your complexion is a bit oily," her mum said, "that's all. It means you won't have wrinkles when you're older." But at 15, getting older was of no concern to Lettie. To crown it all, she wore glasses. In front of the mirror in her mum's bedroom that particular night, Lettie resolved never to eat cake or dessert or sweets again. Her resolve didn't last long, but the butterflies that fluttered in her tummy every time Davet was near did not go away. The feeling was more amazing than anything she had ever felt before. When Lettie was in Form 4, her dad dropped her at the school gate with her suitcase, her biscuit tin, and her blanket roll for Voortrekker camp. "Here, Lettie!" Clara waved her over. She and Christine were standing next to the truck. Davet and his friend Brom were loading the suitcases and bags. Davet jumped from the back and came to where she was standing. "Hello, Lettie, can I take your case?" he asked. "I could have brought it over myself," she stuttered. "Not on your life," he said, laughing. His eyes sparkled, and his light brown hair fell across his forehead. The butterflies threatened to come fluttering out of Lettie's bright red ears. Annabel arrived in a uniform that was too short, and her hair wasn't tied back. She looked lovely as usual. "Davet, Brom," she called out, pointing at her big suitcase and blanket roll. Lettie pushed her glasses higher up her nose, envying Annabel's nerve. That night they sat on the ground around the big campfire, Clara between Lettie and Christine. Annabel crossed over to the other side of the fire. Lettie saw Annabel bend down and say something to